For this project, any category 3 yarn will work, but I used a skein and a quarter of baby Bernat sport in the color Blossom and a quarter skein of white. As for tools, a 5mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, tape measure, and optional tapestry needle. There's a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCDDIY for a discount off any $9.99 plus order. Watch to the end of the video to learn how to enter this week's giveaway. We're using 4 stitches for this project, and they will be as follows: chain, slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. This tutorial is for a size small, but you can adjust it for your size, and we explain how to in the video, so let's get started. Getting started on these joggers, we are first going to grab our category 3 yarn and make a slip knot. Next, we are going to grab our 5mm hook and start off by making a chain that is going to come out to the height of our waistband. And I want mine to be about 3 inches or 8 centimeters, so I'm going to start off by making a chain of 12. Now that we have our chain, what we're going to do from here is block off that last chain, do a chain up of 1, and into that chain that we blocked off, or the second chain from our hook, we're going to go in with a slip stitch. Let's do the next slip stitch together. We're going to insert our hook into that next chain, yarn over, and pull through everything. And we're going to keep doing this, going all the way down our chain. Now that we've made our way all the way down with our first row of slip stitches, next we're going to go in with more rows of slip stitches, but these are going to be in through the back loops. So all we're going to do once we get to the end of every row, we're going to do a chain up of 1 and flip our work. And into that first back loop, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and pull through everything on our hook. Let's do the next one together. Go into that next back loop, yarn over, and pull through everything. And we're just going to keep doing this, going all the way down. Once we make our way down to the end, we're going to do a chain up of 1, flip our work, and then bring our work back down with more back loop slip stitches. And we're just going to keep going like this with back loop slip stitches until we get a length that fits around the widest part of our hips. But make sure that when we are putting it up to ourselves, we are stretching it out, because this stitch stretches quite a bit. But once when we have that all finished up, I'll meet you guys back so that we can seam it all up together. And make sure that you guys end with an even number of rows as well. So I am back, and I have just finished up going in with my waistband. And I ended up having a total of 130 rows, or this came out to 21 inches or 54 centimeters, and that is unstretched. But once we have the length that we need, now we're just going to seam up the 2 ends that we have so that we can finish off this waistband. So the first thing we're going to do is place the 2 ends directly on top of each other, and then we're going to insert our hook into that corner loop into the back panel, since our hook is already in through the front panel. And then once when our hook is through both, we're going to yarn over and pull through everything on our hook, and also do a chain up of 1 to secure. And from here, we're just going to go in with a row of single crochet, making sure we're going in through the front and the back panel at the same time. So into the first available loop that we have into the front panel, go ahead and insert your hook. And also into the next available loop we have into the back panel, insert your hook into there as well. And then single crochet. Let's just do one more together. Into the next available loop into the front panel, next available loop into the back panel, and then single crochet. And keep doing this, going all the way down. I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row so that we can go in with the body portion. And now that we have just finished up seaming up our waistband together, next from the end that we're at, we're just going to go in with a row of single crochet along the top of our waistband. So we're going to start off by doing a chain up of 1, and then we're going to flip our work so that our seam is along the inside, and we're going to start working along the length. So we're going to go in putting 1 single crochet into each of our side slip stitch rows. So let's just get the first few started off together. My first one is this raised side slip stitch row right here. So we're going to insert our hook into that top loop and single crochet. My next one is this divot along the inside. So I'm going to go into there with a single crochet as well. Let's do the next set together. My next one is this raised one. Find the loop that's on top and single crochet. And my next one is this divot. Go ahead and single crochet into that top loop as well. And we're just going to keep doing that, going all the way around, keeping in mind that this does need to end on an even number, which it should, since we already went in with an even number of rows with our waistband. We just want to double check. But once when we make our way all the way around, we are going to slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space, and then I'll meet you guys back. So we've just made our way all the way around with our row of single crochet, and we have slip stitched into that chain up of one space that we made for ourselves. And our next row is going to be more single crochets, but this is going to be going in through the back loops so that we get some really nice ribbing before we get started on the fun part, which is the modified sedge stitch. So what we're going to do from here is do a chain up of one, and into this first back loop we're going to insert our hook into there and single crochet. Let's do the next one together. Into this next back loop that we have, go ahead and insert your hook and single crochet. Go ahead and just put one back loop single crochet into every stitch that we have. Do another slip stitch into that chain up of one space, and then I'll meet you guys back. So we've just made our way around with our row of back loops single crochets, and now we can get started on the sedge stitch together. So how this is going to work, we're going to start this row off by doing a chain up of one. Once we have that, we will be inserting our hook into that next stitch that we have with a single crochet, and then also into that same stitch a double crochet. So yarn over, insert, pull through two, pull through two. So we have a single and a double in that same stitch. Once we have that, we will be skipping this next stitch, because if we go into there we're actually going to be increasing, which is what we don't want. But we are going to go into the stitch right after that one and do another single and double into there. So there is our single, prepare for a double, go into that same stitch with a double, and that is pretty much it. We're going to keep doing this, going all the way around. When we don't have any more loops left in this row to go into, I'll meet you guys back to show you guys how we're going to close off this row, and then how we're going to do our next row as well. So we've just made our way all the way around with our first row of our sedge stitch, and now we're going to close it off together. So into that chain up of one space that we made of ourselves when we started off this row, we're going to slip stitch into there. So go ahead and insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through everything, and now our first row is all closed off. What we're going to do to start off this row and every row after this is do a chain up of one and flip our work. Once when we have flipped our work, we're going to maintain doing the same sedge stitch, but we are going to still be skipping every other stitch. So since this first stitch is our double crochet stitch, we're going to be skipping that one and then going into the single crochet stitch. So since we did our chain up of one, we're going to be skipping this first one, go into that next one with a single crochet, and then same deal as before, we're going to put a double crochet into that same stitch. Let's do this again. Skip this double crochet stitch, go into that single crochet stitch with a single and a double. And we're going to keep doing this, going all the way around. Once we make our way back around to the beginning, we're going to slip stitch into that chain up of one space that we made for ourselves, do a chain up of one after that, flip our work, and then we're going to maintain doing the sedge stitches into the tops of every single crochet stitch that we have. And we're going to keep doing this until we get a length that we want, until we're ready to connect the front to the back. So I'll meet you guys back in just a few rows to let you guys know how many rows, the measurements, and then what we're going to do after that as well. So we are back, and we have just finished up going in with our next few rows of our sedge stitches. And just to let you guys know, right before we're ready to get into our connector, I came out with a total of 27 rows, and this came out to be a total of 7 inches or 18 centimeters from the bottom of our waistband. So once when we have this, we are going to want to try this on, and then we are going to measure from where our hook is into the back, because this is where our seam is, going in between our legs. We're friends now, so we can talk about this. Going in between your legs, and then we're going to connect it into the front portion. And at this point, we're also going to want to insert our stitch marker into that middle point that we have into the entirety of our pant portion that we have right now. And it's just going to go smack dab right in the middle from where our hook is. But once when we have figured out the length that we want, we are going to start off by making a chain of that length. And I actually wanted mine to be 4.5 inches or 11 centimeters. So I'm going to start off by making a chain of 16. And keeping in mind that this chain needs to stay an even number, just like how our body chain is. And once when we have our chain, what we're going to do from here is insert our hook into our stitch marker. So I'm just going to take this guy out for now. Insert our hook into that loop, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through with a slip stitch. And now our chain should be nice and attached. And once when we have that, we are going to be slip stitching into that next available loop that we have into the base. And when we're going into this, we're just going to want to make sure that we will still have the same amount of loops on both sides. So go ahead and pick whichever side you guys need. But from there, we're just going to go all the way down our chain, putting one single crochet into every stitch. So we're going to slip stitch into there, and then into our chain. We're going to put one single crochet into each, and then I'll meet you guys back once we get down to this end so that we can slip stitch it into there together and then start working on one of our pant legs. So we have just gone all the way down with our single crochets, and now we are going to slip stitch into that loop. So we're just going to insert our hook into that next loop, yarn over, and pull through everything on our hook. And then once we have that, we are now ready to go in with our pant leg. So what we're going to do from here is do a chain up of 1. Since we're at this corner, we should be where our back portion is. We're going to take a look at the sedge stitch portion that we have gone in with in the previous row, not with our chain and single crochet, and then we're just going to determine what side we're going to start working into. So as you guys remember, into the main body portion, we're doing a chain up of 1 and flipping our work, and we just want to make sure that we're still maintaining that flip so that this next row doesn't look a little off. So since my work is going in this direction, I'm going to start going out into that direction. And a good way to indicate which direction to go into is taking a look at the loops that's right on top. They're going to be in a teardrop shape. And then whatever side the curved portion of our teardrop shape is going into, that's the direction that we were going into. So we're going to go into the direction that is pointed, so the opposite way. But from here on out, it's actually going to be the same thing until we want to start tapering in our pant leg. So we're just going to do the first sedge stitch together, and then I'll just kind of let you guys have at it from there. So we have already done our chain up of 1, and we just want to make sure that we are still going into that single crochet stitch. So my first loop that I have right here is this single crochet. So since I'm right here, I'm going to go in with 1 single crochet and then a double into that stitch. If your next available stitch is a double crochet, you guys will be skipping that one and then going in with a single and a double into that next single crochet stitch. And just keep going in the rounds until you guys are ready to start doing your decreases. I'll meet you guys back when I'm ready to start doing my decreases to show you guys how to do that, and then we can all move on from there. Alright, so we are back, and I have just finished up going in with this solid portion that goes around our thigh all the way up until we're ready to start doing our decreases, which we're going to do right now. But just to let you guys know, from where our middle connector, our chain and single crochet is, going all the way down, I have a total of 23 rows, or just this chunk right here came out to a total of 6.5 inches or 17 centimeters, and this is just about mid-thigh for me, but this can obviously be adjusted to whatever look and style y'all are going for. But from here, I'm just going to show you guys how to decrease, and then I'll let you guys know in which rows I'm decreasing in, but the rest of this is completely up to you guys. And just in case if you guys are wondering, yes, I did go ahead and do the other pant leg as well. I just wanted to make sure that everything was looking right. But when we have this part all done, we are now ready to go in with our decrease rows and to do our decreases together. The first thing I'm going to need you guys to do is just insert a stitch marker along the outside portion right here. It doesn't need to be an exact number. It does not need to be halfway from where our hook is or where it would be because I'm holding my hook. This just needs to be one on the outside, and then we're also going to do a decrease on the inside as well. So you guys can go ahead and just eyeball it, insert your stitch marker, and then from there we can start doing our decreases. So from where we're at, we did do a chain up of 1 and we did flip our work, and doing this decrease is going to be fairly simple, so let's get this started. So we're still going to be skipping this first double crochet loop, and we're going to start off by inserting our hook into that first single crochet stitch as if we weren't going to do a decrease. So we're going to insert our hook into there, yarn over, pull through, and we're actually going to do a decrease of 2 single crochets right here. So when we have those 2 loops on our hook, we're going to insert our hook into that next stitch, which is our next double crochet stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull through that stitch. From here, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. That is our decrease of 2 single crochets. And then from here, we are going to need to do a decrease of 2 double crochets. So just to make sure that we're not going over too many loops, what we're going to do is prepare for a double crochet. And then we're going to insert our hook into that same stitch that we just went into for our second yarn over pull through when it came to our decrease of 2 single crochets. So that might be a little confusing, so I'm just going to show you guys. This is the last loop that we went into for our decrease of 2 single crochets. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that same stitch, which is that double crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to close off our decrease of 2 double crochets into that single crochet stitch right over here. Yarn over, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook. From here, we're going to yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is how we decrease with our modified sedge stitch. And from here, I'm just going to continue doing the same sedge stitch that we have been doing this entire time, going all the way down until we hit this stitch marker. Then we're going to do another decrease together. So just to start off our sedge stitch together, we're going to be skipping that double crochet stitch, just like how we've been doing. Go into that next single with one single, and then one double into that same stitch. And then I'll meet you guys back once we get to our next stitch marker. So we're back, and we are now at the point where our stitch marker was. I did take mine out, and what we're going to do from here is another decrease modified sedge stitch. So what we're going to do from here is go into that next single crochet stitch, skipping this first double crochet just like how we would be doing normally, and then also going into that next double crochet stitch with a decrease of 2 single crochets. So we're going to skip this double crochet stitch, go into that single crochet one, yarn over, pull through, and then into the loop directly after that, which is a double crochet stitch. Yarn over, pull through. We should have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And then next we're going to go in with a decrease of 2 double crochets into that double crochet stitch that we just went into, and then also into that single crochet stitch that is right after. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that same double crochet stitch we just went into, yarn over, pull through, and then also into that next single crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's how we do our decrease modified sedge stitch. And from here, we're just going to go all the way down, putting 1 modified sedge stitch into every sequence that we have. And then we're going to slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space that we have. And this part is going to be completely up to you guys. I will be doing a decrease just like this. So these 2 decreases that we just did together, one along the inside where our seam is, and then one along the outside of our pant leg, is going to be the same type of decreases that I'm going to be doing throughout the rest of the pants. It's just going to be done in different sequences. So for this first portion, where we are about mid-thigh, and then we're going to keep going all the way down to right above our knee, I'm going to be doing a decrease row, 2 regular rows, a decrease row, 2 regular rows. So a decrease into every 3rd row. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get to right above my knee, but you guys can go ahead and decrease for as much as you guys want, but I'm just going to keep doing that until I get to that point. And then I'll meet you guys back to let you guys know how many rows and the measurements that I have, and then also what we're going to do right after that. So we are back, and we are now right over the knee, and just to let you guys know, from where we started this entire pant leg section all the way down to where I ended, I have a total of 36 rows, or that comes out to 10 inches or 25 centimeters. And then from here, I'm just going to keep tapering my pants down because I want this to be slim to my leg, but there's not going to be any real rhyme or reason to this. So you guys can decrease into whatever rows you guys want. And I'm just going to be doing my decrease rows into my 42nd, 48th, and 62nd row. And I'm going to have a total of 85 rows. So go ahead and just decrease into whatever rows you guys need, and then I'll meet you guys back once we have the entirety of our pant leg finished up, and then we can work on the cuff together. So we are back, and we have just finished up going in with the entirety of our pant leg. And from where we did our middle connector going all the way down, I ended up having a total of 85 rows, or that came out to 21.5 inches or 55 centimeters. And now that we have that, we are now ready to go in with our cuff. So the first thing we're going to want to do is just go in with a row of single crochet along the edge with our primary color. So this part's going to be super easy. All we're going to do is do a chain up of 1 and then go all the way around, putting 1 single crochet into every stitch. Once we make our way back around, we're going to slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space, and go ahead and grab your secondary color so that we can insert that. We just made our way all the way around with our single crochet row along the bottom of our pant leg, and we have grabbed our secondary color, and what we're going to do from here is go in with a row of back loop single crochets going around the single crochet that we just did along the bottom. So we're going to be inserting our hook into any one of these loops, it doesn't matter which one, but we are going to make sure that we're going in through the back loops. We're going to insert our yarn onto our hook, pull through, do a chain up of 1 to secure, and then go ahead and put 1 back loop single crochet into every stitch. Once we make our way back around, go ahead and slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space, and then I'll meet you guys back so that we can go in with the length of our cuff. Making our way all the way around with our back loop single crochets and slip stitching into that chain up of 1 space, the next thing we're going to do is go in with the length that we want our ankle cuff to be. And this is actually going to be the same length that I wanted our waistband to be, so I'm going to start off by making a chain of 12, or that comes out to 3 inches or 8 centimeters. And now that we have our chain, what we're going to do from here is block off that last chain, do a chain up of 1, and then into that chain that we blocked off, or the second chain from our hook, we're going to go in with a slip stitch. Just going to insert, yarn over, and pull through everything. Let's do the next one together as well. So go ahead and go into that next chain, yarn over, and pull through everything. Go ahead and put 1 slip stitch into every chain that we have, and I'll meet you guys back at the base just to show you guys how to attach it. So we've just made our way down with our row of slip stitches, and what we're going to do from here is slip stitch it into the base. So go ahead and take a look at the next available loop that we have into our base. We're going to insert, yarn over, and pull through everything on our hook, and now this first row is nice and attached. And in order to work our way up to the next row, we're going to slip stitch into that next available loop as well. So just insert, yarn over, and pull all the way through. From here, we're going to flip our work, and then just like within the waistband, we're going to go in with back loop slip stitches. So we're just going to do the first one together. We're going to insert our hook into that first back loop, yarn over, and pull through everything. And we're going to keep doing back loop slip stitches going all the way down. Once we make our way down to the end, do a chain up of 1, flip our work, and then do more back loop slip stitches going down towards the base. And then once we get to the base, we're going to attach it the same way that we just did. So slip stitch into the next available loop to close off that row, and then slip stitch up just 1 more loop to start off the next row, and then keep working back and forth just like that until we don't have any more loops left. Then I'll meet you guys back so that we can seam up our cuff together. So we are back, and we have just made our way all the way around with our cuff. We don't have any more loops left to go into. So what we're going to do from here is just seam up the 2 ends that we have, and that is going to be the same way that we have seamed up our waistband. So I'm just going to flip my work inside out, and then I'll show you guys how to do the first one. So we have flipped our work inside out, and just to do the first seam together, we're going to insert our hook into the first available loop into the front panel, and then also into the next available loop we have into the back panel, and then we're going to single crochet. And we're just going to keep doing this going all the way down. So we are back, and we have just finished up going in with the seam for our cuff. And the next thing we're going to do from here is actually go in with our next pant leg. Everything is going to be exactly the same. In the next clip, I'm just going to show you guys where we're going to insert our hook, and then from there, go ahead and repeat everything that we just did. And then once when we have that, I will meet you guys back so that we can get started on the pocket and then the little waistband detail that we're going to have as well. Alright, so we have just finished up going in with just one of our pant legs, and we're going to get started on the next one, but it's actually going to be done exactly the same way that our first one was done. I'm just here to show you guys where to insert your hook. So the first thing we're going to want to do is figure out where the front or the back is, or depending on how you guys want to wear it, figure out where our seam is. That is going to be where my back end is. So now that we have figured out where the seam is, we are going to insert our hook into that corner loop that we have into that middle connector, and then we're going to go in with our modified sedge stitches. But keep in mind that we are still going to want to go in the opposite direction as the previous sedge stitch row. So just like before, we're taking a look at our teardrop shape, and then whatever side the curved portion is going in, we're going to go the opposite direction. So from this point, I'm actually going to be working into the middle connector that we have, and then from there just go all the way around with our sedge stitches. So since I have my hook into this corner, because we want our seams to be on the same side, we're going to insert our yarn onto our hook, pull through, do a chain up of 1 to secure. And then from here, we're just going to do the same thing that we just did together. So we're going to go in with a bunch of rows of our sedge stitches going in the rounds, and then we're going to decrease where we decreased on this side, go in with the cuff, and then I will meet you guys back. We have just finished up going in with our second pant leg, and what we're going to do from here is go in with our pockets. The first thing we're going to want to do though is actually make a drawstring and then weave it in and out of our waistband, just so that we know exactly where the pants are going to fit and fall on us. Then once when we have that, we can insert our stitch markers right where we want our pockets to fall, and then from there you guys can adjust to see how long we want our pockets to be. This part is going to be completely up to you guys depending on where you guys place your stitch markers for your pockets. And I don't have any number counts for you guys because everything is within the sedge stitches, and it all depends on how many sedge stitches you guys have. So you guys can go ahead and just eyeball it to whatever spot that you guys want it to be in, but I will show you guys how we're going to make our pockets right now. So we already have one of our pockets all made up, so we're going to do our second one together because they're going to be exactly the same. What we're first going to do is start off by making a chain that we want the base of our pocket to be. And I want the base of my pocket to be a total of 3.5 inches or 8 centimeters, so I'm going to start off by making a chain of 13. Now that we have our chain, what we're going to do from here is block off that last chain. Do a chain up of 2, that counts as a half double. From here we're going to prepare for a half double and then insert our hook into that chain that we blocked off, or the third chain from our hook, with a half double. And let's do our next half double together. We're going to prepare for a half double, insert your hook into that next chain. We should have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we're going to make our way all the way down, putting 1 half double into every chain. Now that we've made our way down to the end of our chain, what we're going to do from here is do more rows of half double crochets. So we're going to start off every row with doing a chain up of 2 and flip our work. From here we're going to prepare for a half double and then put 1 half double into every stitch that we have. And we're going to keep doing that just until we have a little block for our pocket portion. And I'm going to keep going until I have a total of 5 rows, and that's going to be the portion of the pocket that comes up right before we have the slit for our hand, just so that once we put things into our pocket, it doesn't slip out. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 rows, and then I'll meet you guys back. So I've just made my way down with my block of half double crochets. Like I said in the previous clip, I have 5 rows, and now we're going to do our decrease for our slit. So how that's going to work is start off with a chain up of 2 and flip our work, and into these first 2 stitches we're going to go in with a decrease of 2. So going in with our decrease, we're going to prepare. Go ahead and insert your hook into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook. From here, we're just going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Once we have that, we're going to go all the way down, putting 1 half double into every stitch. Once we make our way down to the end, which is going to be our blunt end, we're going to do a chain of 2, flip our work, and then bring our half double crochets back down the other end, but leaving the last 3 stitches so that we can do a decrease into the third and second to last, and then a half double into that last. So we just made our way all the way down to our decrease end, and we are going to go in with our decrease of 2 half doubles and then a half double into that last. So let's just get this started off together. We're going to prepare for a half double, insert our hook into that third to last stitch that we have. We're going to yarn over and pull through. Into that second to last stitch, yarn over, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and then into this last stitch, just put 1 half double. And then once we have that, we're just going to repeat this sequence. So we're just going to start this off together. We're going to do a chain up of 2, flip our work, prepare for a half double, go into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4, and we're going to go all the way down, putting 1 half double into every stitch, do a chain up of 2, flip our work, and then put 1 half double into every stitch, going back down towards our decrease section, while maintaining our decrease into the third and second to last, and putting 1 half double into that last. And we're going to keep going like that until we get the height that we want, or until this top row that we have gets to the length that we want. So I'll meet you guys back in just a few rows so that we can go in with our border along the side. So I am back with my pocket, and I actually want to add just 1 more row to the top, so I'm going to do that with a row of half double crochets with no decreases, since this top is already pretty small. So what I'm going to do is do a chain up of 2, flip my work, and then just put 1 half double into every stitch. Once we have this, now we can go in with our border. So we're just going to do a chain up of 1, and then into each of these side half double crochets, we're going to be alternating between 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. So let's get that started. Into this first side half double, we're going to go in with 1 single crochet. Into this next side half double, we're going to go in with 2, and then let's do the next set together as well. Into this next side half double, there is 1. Our next side half double, there is 2. We're going to keep doing that, going all the way down until we get to the blunt portion that we did right here. This is where the pocket's going to stop being connected for the slit for our hand. So once when we get here, there's going to be just a little angle curve right here. So we're going to do a chain up of 1 and then continue on with our pattern. So I'll meet you guys back once when we get to about right here. So we are now over to where we have our solid portion of our half double crochets that goes along the bottom. So all we're going to do is just do a chain up of 1. And then maintain the pattern that we've been doing. So the last one that I did was 2 single crochets. So I'm going to get here, I'm going to go in with 1 single crochet, go back in with 2 single crochet, and so on and so forth. And then once when we get to every other corner that we have into this pocket piece, we're going to do the same thing. So just do a chain up of 1. We're going to turn our work a little bit so that we can work along the other edge. Once we get to these edges, these are regular loops, so go ahead and just put 1 single crochet into each of those, and then maintain the 1 single to 2 singles into each of our side half doubles. Then once when we make our way all the way back up to this top portion right here, we're going to slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space, do a chain up of 1 and cut, and then make 1 more pocket that is exactly the same. Alrighty, so we are all back and we have just finished up making both of our pockets. And this next portion is going to be completely up to you guys depending on how you guys want to attach it. I will be sewing it on with a tapestry needle and I don't have a real technique on how to do this, so I'm just going to let you guys have at this on your own. Just make sure that you guys are aligning it as best as you can, and all you're going to do is go from one corner, go all the way down, and then go all the way up until we hit this portion where we did our chain up of 1 because we need this portion to be open for our pocket. And go ahead and do that same thing to the other side, and then I'll meet you guys back once we have both of these sewn on. So we are back and we have attached both of our pockets and things are looking pretty great. So this is actually the last thing that we have to do. So we can go ahead and just weave in all of our ends. We now have another pair of sweats to add to our collection. This piece was a journey, let me tell you guys. It ate up a lot more yarn than I anticipated, and getting the right sizes for the pant legs was challenging, but always fun. There's a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCDDIY for a discount off any $9.99 plus order. Enter this week's pattern giveaway by telling us what was the last kind thing someone did for you. Good luck to everyone who enters. Also, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up because believe it or not, it really helps. And be sure to share us on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. Links down below. Link to our Etsy page is down there too if you want to buy this piece or any other piece on the channel. And be sure to favorite the shop so you don't miss out on new patterns and exclusive deals. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.